everybody, and today I am going to teach you how to make this adorable owl plush. Besides Shappo, the owl is my favorite Sentimental Circus character, so I'm so excited to do this. I love this so much. And it's got little snap pouch, perfect for a couple dollars and some coins, and it has a few other uses too, so let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is make our pattern on our black sheet of felt. So I just have a regular 30-cent black sheet of felt, and I bought some of this. It is tulip glitter in gold, and we need to make our pattern first. So with a ruler and a white colored pencil, we are just going to sketch out real quick 1/2 inch increments all the way across the entire piece of felt. Just like that. And then after we're done with that, we take the ruler and line it up. Make sure it's even, and then go down the entirety of the felt, and we get a line, and then we'll just do lines all the way across. Alright, so I have all these lines done, and it kind of reminds me of Jack Skellington's outfit just a little bit. But the next thing to do is to do diagonal lines across. So first we're going to start in the very corner, and I'm just going to do this real quick just to get it started. But after this we'll do the 1/2 inch increments. So I'm just going to set my ruler down, and wrong side, there we go. Find the 1/2 inch and mark it. And you have to be very careful when doing this because you don't want to wipe off the pencil marks you've already made. So try not to rub your hand while you do it. Just like that. Now I have my little notches, and then I can just mark my lines again. And as you can see, we now have our diamond pattern starting. So I will show you what to do next. Alright, so now I have gotten all of it traced out. The next thing to do, which will take a while, I am warning you now, is to fill in every other square with this stuff. So sorry if you can see my shadow, but pretty much just, oops, it farted, but pretty much just want to fill it in. And we're like making our own patterned felt. Just like that, and then we want to make sure the lines are straight. You can go back with a pin or something, a stick of some sort, to make sure that the lines are perfectly straight if you'd like. And then we want to skip these two and go on to this one. And then skip that one and do this one, and skip that one and do this one, and skip that one and do this one, and do this one, and do that one. And you get the idea. I'm just going to take this ball tool and then kind of move it around and connect the two just by a hair, just so the pattern seems cohesive and that it matches and it looks like an actual harlequin pattern. And you need to be careful of the needle tool getting stuck in the fabric because it is felt and it is a very fibrous material. Just take your time. It will take a while, and it will take a while to dry as well. But as long as you take your time, it'll end up looking great. So just continue until your whole thing is full and let it dry. The bottle says that you let it dry flat for 4 hours. Alright, so I let this dry overnight because of how thick it ended up being, but this is what the final product looks like. And we basically custom made our own felt patterns because they do sell pattern felt in stores, but this is the pattern we need. So yeah. Also for this tutorial, you will need a fabric to go on the inside of the pouch. So I decided to choose like this dark brown color. You can use any type of fabric, but I'm using felt, and it's this dark brown color. And then you will need cream felt for his face, and then 2 little bits of black felt for the eyes, and then a snap closure. You can use Velcro if you'd like, but I had these on hand. And they're just little button snaps, and you just remove it, and here's the outie and here's the innie, and they just snap together like that, and they have these little holes in them, and it even shows you on the back. You just sew where the holes are. So you need that and a needle, some black embroidery floss, the template which is in the down bar, and a pair of scissors. So let's get started. So when working with this type of fabric or whatever, what you'd want to do is pick which way you want the pattern going and then place your template on it that way. And I don't suggest doing like a fold and then cut, because the 3D paint actually makes this fabric a lot heavier and more harder to cut through, so I suggest you do it one at a time. So I'm going to start in this corner, and I'm going to pick the pattern where I started because it looks a lot prettier than the pattern I ended with. It started getting sloppy. I still like it, but I like this part better. Now we have our front and our back, and next I'm going to cut out this in the lining fabric. If you're using any other fabric besides felt, one that would deteriorate, like come apart, you would want to cut an extra seam allowance around and then fold the edges over and glue the edges to make this shape of the pattern, because you don't want it to fray and come apart after extended use. So felt would be the best bet, or some sort of fabric that doesn't fall apart easily, like my fluffy fabric that I use for the Toto pouch. So next I'm going to cut out the face. Here we go. The next thing to do would be to attach the face along with the eyes and embroider the face on, not including the lining, so just on the back of this gold one that we made. And all I'm gonna do is probably a quick fell stitch for the eyes, maybe a blanket stitch around the face to secure it, and some embroidery fell stitches for the little beak. So I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So here he is with his face all done, and looking at it now, I definitely think he needs like some wing definition. So I made a wing pattern, and I think to make it like super defined, I'm going to do like an opposite direction of the pattern piece so you can actually see it, because if it was the same, it just blends in. So I'm going to do opposite and just cut out a few extra pieces and do one like this, and then of course flip it the other way for the other side, because you don't want them going the both way. So I'm going to do that, and then I will show you the next step to do. Alright, so here is what he looks like with the new wings, and I think it makes a better definition. And I'm not going to attach them because I think they'd be cute floppy like this, just on this side, so you can actually see that he has wings. So the next step to do is going to be very, very, very tough, because we are going to sew through all 5 layers. That's including the 2 linings, the 2 pieces, plus the wing piece. So we want to piece the piece itself, the lining, the wings, and then the lining, the back, with the 2 linings facing each other like this. And it's going to be very thick, but that's what's going to make this pouch sturdy. So as you can see, like that, we are going to do an blanket stitch from one shoulder, the very top of the wing, all the way to this one, down around the bottom. So just this. And I'm going to be doing it with embroidery floss, the full thickness of the 6-strand embroidery floss. I might actually go over and do the double blanket stitch just to secure it and make sure it is totally secure and sturdy. Okay, so here it is done. I left the string on and the tail long, and the next thing to do that is very important before we continue is, of course, to sew the snap closure on. So I am just going to, I have some 3 thread thickness on this needle, and I'm just going to kind of hold this end down, and then let's zoom in a bit. Okay, so I have this hold down, and I'm just going to hold this here and then go through the back of the lining. And do one quick couple stitches to hold it in place. And of course you want to use a thread that matches the color of your lining, but since mine is a dark brown, I think black is fine. Of course my thread came out. There we go. So then we want to actually secure this. So do about, like, I'm gonna say 5 stitches in each hole, really tugged really tight so it stays in place. Alright, so now I've gotten that sewn down completely and tied off the end. The next thing to do is to place the female, the inside part, right where it meets. So I'm going to snap them together, and then it's going to be kind of hard to see, but I'm going to stick my needle through the back and then get it through the hole of the snap and secure it in place. And and do it on the side next to it. There's the hole in the snap. And then we can unsnap it. And we have a general idea of where to put it. So then we're going to do the same thing that we did to this one to here. Alright, so now that both snaps are in, you can see it works just great. The next thing to do would to be close up the lining from the actual thing. So like I said before, I didn't tie off and cut this. I left this on here because I am still going to use it. So all I have to do is just continue on doing my blanket stitch on only half. So I'll just do this side all the way to here. And once I get to here, I can join like I did before, these two, and then flip my work over, and then do a blanket stitch all the way across the other side, and then knot off on the side I started on. So basically just doing a giant circle of blanket stitch. So I'm going to show you a little bit of it, and then yeah. So I think I will do a double like I did before because it'll keep it stronger. So we just do that. And then to do the double, we go back in this way that we came, wrap our thread around the needle, and there is our double. And I'm going to do it again. And our double. So I'm just going to keep doing this around this, and I will show you when I get to here. I have come to the end of sewing up this side, as you can see. So all I'm gonna do is join these two sides again by doing another like that. Ooh. Like I said, it's gonna be tough on some areas. There we go. By doing another blanket stitch. So instead of going from here to here and leaving an odd gap, that's why I went back into the main base, and then I'm going to come back up here. So we just want to do just like we were doing on this side and continue the double blanket stitch all the way down to here, and then we will just tie off and then we'll be done. So now we are done. Here is our finished little owl, and he is so darn cute, and you can stick your hand in like that and put loose change or whatever in it. But I also think this would be a great headphone winder, and let me show you why. Here's a pair of my headphones. So all you have to do is wind it up like so, maybe a little less tight, and then you can stick it right here, right where that is, and snap it closed, and then you can plug your iPod in. And you can even tuck your earbuds into the owl's little wings. Isn't that cute? So I think even if you had like an iPod Nano or something, it would fit in here, or like a tiny MP3 player. You could just leave it in here, and then here's your headphones. And if you want more, just unsnap it and pull out a little extra bit like that. So, there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow for my last Sentimental Circus tutorial. Have a great day, guys. Bye.